y'all. The weather is beautiful today, and we're gonna get out in the garden and get our hands dirty. We're gonna plant seed potatoes. Also, we're going to plant snap peas. That's the plan for today. Justin has been working in our garden area, getting it ready. He had already tilled it a couple times and worked in some compost and different things. And yesterday he went over it again to get it good and ready for me to plant it. And it looks beautiful. It makes me so happy. Potatoes and snap peas are the plan for today. Our weather is starting to get really nice, and I feel like we're right at that point where we can just go ahead and start planting things. So lots of fun gardening stuff happening around here. I really feel like I should have already had these potatoes in the ground. However, a few people that I've talked to who have already planted theirs said that theirs aren't doing well, that they think they got too wet with the rain we had and have started rotting. So maybe my timing's perfect. We'll have to see. Let me tell you about these potatoes we're going to plant. These are the potatoes we're going to plant. I have some red, Yukon Gold, and then russet style potatoes. And y'all, these were some that I just got from the grocery store and had let them sit and just do their thing. And they look good, so we're going to plant them. I bought these others as seed potatoes. Now, early this morning, Audrey and I cut these to try to get more bang for our buck, if you will. As long as each piece has a couple of eyes on it, you should be good. So some of them we cut, some of them we left whole, and we've let them sit for a few hours to kind of start to build a little protective layer over where they were cut. Now we're going to go out and put them in the ground. I definitely think the red look better. I had several of these that had bad spots in them, spots where they looked like they were starting to rot, so I had to do away with some of those. And like I said, these are just bonus that my pantry decided to give me, and these right here look really good. You can definitely cut them into pieces as long as there's a couple of eyes per each piece. Yeah, this is an eye. Anywhere that there's a little, here, let's show them. Anywhere there's a little thing like this coming out, that's where the potatoes, what's gonna grow. And then off of that, you'll get more potatoes. So one potato can turn into a bunch of potatoes. It is really, really pretty outside right now, so let's get out there and get our hands dirty. I tell you what, it always does my heart good to get out in the sunshine and play in the dirt a little. All right, boots are on. Let's head outside. First things first, I've got to work on my rows. And in this garden space, we're going to have some rows that are going vertically and some that are going horizontally. One, to help with the way the water runs off of it, and two, for aesthetics. And I think my potato row, I'm going to put along this outside edge. And then I think the sweet pea or snap peas, I'm going to put across this back edge, because it gets the most shade, and it will hopefully, I mean, it still gets sun for the first part of the day, but it's the first part of the garden that moves into the shade, and I'm hoping that will help us extend our snap pea growing season a little bit, because once it gets hot, they're like, no, I'm done. All right, let's work on our rows. So what I'm talking about is down through here, all the way down, that will be potatoes. And then right here across the back, you can already see how it's starting to get shaded because we're moving into the afternoon. That's where I'm gonna put the snap peas. That'll help them get plenty of sun while also staying a little bit cooler. I'm a bit notorious for not making very straight lines. Maybe it'll work. It's probably about 2 feet wide, It may be better if it was just a little bit wider, but we'll make it work. I think the length of the row for the amount of sweet potatoes we've got will be okay. And you only have to start with like 4-ish inches of dirt to nestle your potato in, because as it grows, you're gonna keep covering it. Oh, you're not happy. All right, I'm just nestling them in. I'm giving them about a foot of space around them, putting the eyes facing up. I'm just gonna snuggle them in, and I'll come back and cover them a little bit. As they start to grow, you'll see the green coming up through the ground. And for the first little while, you want to mound your dirt up over the growth. Just leave a little bit of growth sticking out, cover the rest up, because all of the growth that comes off of these is where your potatoes are gonna form. Where these are sitting, there's really not gonna be any potatoes down below them. That's why you've got to mound it up and give your potatoes room to grow as this starts to show above the ground. You're going to keep adding soil and mounding your potatoes like I was just telling you until you've added a good 6 to 8 inches of soil. Now, more soil does not necessarily mean more potatoes, but what it does mean is protection from the sun. The sun will give you green potatoes, and we don't want that, so that extra soil and mounding your potatoes is protection from the sun. Once you've added that 6 to 8 inches, from there you can just let your plant grow. Now, we have been feeding our garden with some compost as we were getting our soil ready. We've been working in some compost, and as I'm mounding my potatoes, I will give them some more compost as well. Our homemade compost has some wood ash in it, which is high in potassium, and the potatoes will love that. You can also get store-bought compost like Black Cow. Y'all know I like Black Cow. And it has potash in it, which is high in potassium. And giving your potatoes some extra potassium may in fact mean you get some extra potatoes in the end. Once your plant starts to flower, that's a sign that tubers are forming, the potatoes are growing, and then once your plant dies back, that's a good time to harvest. You can harvest before the plant completely dies back. You may just get smaller potatoes, which honestly, I don't mind. That's going to be personal preference. If you want to get the biggest potato that you can, then you would wait until the plant has completely died back to harvest. What you see me doing here is going ahead and giving those potatoes that I nestled in their first good covering of soil. Of course, make sure you stick around because we're going to take you through the whole process with us. Now, snap peas. Now I'm using these from In My Garden, these sugar snap peas. That's what we're going to get in the ground. They only need 60 to 70 degree Fahrenheit, 15 to 21 degrees Celsius weather to germinate. So we definitely getting that. I will need to water these things in, but I gotta get Audrey to softball practice, so it'll wait until I get home, which will probably be a better time for it anyway. It's been a few days since I found one of Chipmunk's eggs. Don't know where she's hiding them. Fletcher's been up there chilling on the porch. He enjoys this nice weather. And let me show you something. Look at this. Do you see it? There are little wildflowers making an appearance. I've tried to keep the straw just loosely over the top so they can still get plenty of sunshine, but so they're also protected and don't wash away. I'm a little bit afraid that the straw will hinder their growth. I mean, underneath it they seem to be doing good, and I've tried to just kind of keep it moved a little bit so they get sunshine. We'll see. It's an experiment. It's something new to me, so I guess we'll find out together. I'll be getting your shoes on. I worked up a little bit of a sweat, and I ain't mad about it. It feels good. Now we're off to ball practice. Y'all, I got the baby in my hands, so I'm having to hold you the best I can. Is there anything better than good cold water after you've been outside?